So phase one is really, hey, we're just getting started here. I think this drug is going to do something good. Please, oh patriarchal government, let me gather some data to show that it could be helpful. All right? It's just about getting a look for safety and dosage. They usually run fewer than 100 people, and they're healthy. A lot of times, companies have been giving rats a whole bunch of different molecules just looking for shit, right? To see if maybe it would do something. And literally hundreds of them are going on right now, and they don't do shit. That's okay. Drug companies have plenty of money. They'll try another one. But if they get one that looks a little bit promising, first they got to show, hey, at least humans can eat this shit or get the injection or whatever. Right? Ozempic going through all this shit, you can imagine. Right? Phase two is the first affected individuals, right? The patients. These are the folks who actually have the symptoms that we think this is going to help. Okay? What a surprise, a whole lot of drugs are like for nausea or depression or something like that, right? They're just going to try to say, hey, we're going to give it to those people and get a better feel for dosage and side effects. Okay? And they gotta run way more than 100, and it kind of depends on what the outcomes look like. But if it goes well, and it looks like it's going to make some money, there'll be phase three. Okay. Now they're going to do usually hundreds, like 300 to 1,000 real patients in one of these trials. Give it to them at a whole range of dosages. Try to find a good dosage. Make sure it's safe. And make sure the negative consequences are really limited. Right? It doesn't have to be nobody ever gets hurt, but it's got to be hardly anybody gets hurt, given how great this drug is. See what I'm saying? So that one has patients as well. So, this. Usually between 100 and 300. Yeah, don't drive yourself nuts with the numbers because it really depends on how the data turn out.
So just like based on like how you describe it, it's basically like trying to gauge the like how we talked about lethal dose versus non-lethal dose.
So we won't go anywhere near lethal based on the animal work, but we definitely want to feel for the therapeutic index, right? I want to know, hey, is there plenty of room between what helps and what's starting to be a drag? And if not, they might not even bother. All of these, the whole time here in these first phases, the drug is still illegal. Okay? The drug is still not FDA approved. And in order to be in one of the trials, you got to go through a ton of bullshit and all this paperwork and all this stuff. And then people ought to be paid to be in these, right? But if you pay them too much, then it's coercive and unethical, right? So all these fucking bioethicists sit around bullshitting for 10,000 hours about how much you can pay somebody for being in the study. The problem is, bunch of third world folks like do this for a living, right? They go to the drug place and just get in trials and make $800 a month and try to live off it and shit. So I understand the problem. I have no better solution. But then I want to add phase 4. Once it's legal and out, it's prescribable. So now, any physician can prescribe it for its approved use, and away you go, but you really have to monitor. So anytime there's an adverse reaction, people have to report it to the CDC and the FDA, and every decade or so, we end up taking one off. Ozempic, I can't believe how fucking popular that became, and I was so naive, right? When I lived in LA, everybody like, take off 4 pounds, and would do a gram of coke again. Like, it's nuts. If that starts showing a lot of negative cardiac or longevity effects, they're gonna yank it. We had one back in the day called Fen-Phen. It was 2 stimulants combined to help people lose weight. Oh yeah, that's gonna be just fine. Give you some Adderall and some Ritalin and I'll lose some weight.